Hello everyone, this is Harold with North and Loyal Management. Today I want to talk about landlords who are renting their homes out and are not making a profit. Why would a landlord choose to rent their home out and not make a profit? It seems backwards. Like when you're in business, the goal is to make money. So believe it or not, there are landlords out there who intentionally purchase homes that they know they will not turn a profit on. Even more unbelievable is there are certain landlords who will rent out a property and they will actually take a loss on it. And this is intentional. It's not by accident. When they go in and they see their mortgage costs, their management costs, capital expenditures, all of those things, and they look at what the actual expenses are versus the revenue, it adds up to a loss, and they know this even before they buy the property. So you may ask yourself, who in their right mind would do that? Well, there's a lot of investors, particularly out-of-state investors, but it can be in-state investors as well, who go in and intentionally purchase properties and they're not making money on them. And it's actually a pretty smart investment strategy. So let me give you an example. Properties are classified by alphabet letters, so A, B, C, D. So a D property would be a property that's in maybe a lower income neighborhood. Maybe there's a lot of divestment in that neighborhood, meaning there's not a lot of businesses and whatnot. And maybe it's a high crime area, and it's going to need a lot of work in terms of just general maintenance, all of those things. And then you're renting to a tenant, be it government assisted tenant, such as Section 8, or a market rate tenant who may not be working, a salary type job. They may be working an hourly job. Generally, that's what type of tenants are attracted to those D areas. Those properties are usually accompanied with higher rates of return. So that's another video I'll make to talk about your cap rates and what do they mean in terms of your quality of property. Then you have C area properties. These C area properties are properties that they're not D area properties, but they still may be in those economically depressed neighborhoods. There may be a little less crime in those areas. And the homes, you don't have to put as much maintenance into it, but generally these homes are gonna come with some type of capital expenditures, especially apartment turns. For whatever reason, I don't understand the correlation, and I grew up in government housing, but I don't understand the correlation with just a depressed area and the high cost of an apartment turn. So you're going to pay a little more when that tenant moves out to get it ready for the next tenant. And those places are generally more difficult to rent out, and your pool of candidates, they always lack something. So part of our company is we manage properties, and we do manage properties in D and C areas. And what we realize when we're screening tenants is that generally the tenants are missing something. Maybe they have a decent income, but they have a low credit score. Maybe they have a nice credit score, but they don't have the income to support the amount of rent that they're paying. So there's always something just missing with the applicant. So as a property management company, we understand that, and we process it, and we just do our best to make sure we're getting the best tenant for that property. So then you get into the B properties, which are properties in good areas. Someone pointed out that areas where there's no grate over the air condenser outside. Like, it's not protected. Like, you're not worried that someone's gonna take your AC condenser and run off with it. So generally, that's how you can kind of see certain areas as they start to improve. A B area is gonna be a more stable area. Again, the crime rates are lower and the homes are a little more quality, and your tenants are gonna take better care of it. A areas are areas that are supreme top of the market. So these areas are areas where, like, I live in Chicago, so an A area would be somewhere like downtown Chicago. So in these A and some of these B areas, investors intentionally invest in these areas knowing they're low maintenance, they're high rent, but that rent's gonna cover any small maintenance or any apartment turns or things like that. And their mortgage generally is more than what they'll get for rent. So why would they do that? Well, generally these A and B type areas, they're long-term investments. So any of you who have invested in the stock market, think of it as like investing in a blue chip stock, which are A and B area properties, versus a penny stock, which are C and D area properties. If you manage the C and D area properly, you can make a lot of money and a high return, but they're very volatile. They can sink your nest egg quickly. A and B, you're not going to make as high of a return, but these properties are usually not subject to the whims of the real estate market, and you're going to get a higher quality tenant, and therefore you're going to spend less on your maintenance and your turns, and you're going to get rents at a regular basis, and those properties are not difficult to rent out. So when investors invest and they're not making a return, this is generally because they're trading a temporary return for long term, because they know they can continuously raise the rents to market rate in those areas. And remember, when you purchase a home, your mortgage stays the same for the course of the term of that loan. So if you have a 30-year loan and you're paying $3,000 a month, year one is $3,000 a month. Year 29 is $3,000 a month. It doesn't change. So as you're building equity in that property, your rents may be $2,700 a month, but by the time you get to year 3 or 4, that rent may be $3,300, $3,400 a month, and you're actually starting to make a profit off of those homes. Now you're in a position where you're growing equity. You have a great property that is basically not volatile as the lower area properties would be, and you eventually start to make money off of rents at long term. So I think it's a pretty good strategy. It definitely adds less stress than investing in C and D areas, but everybody has their own investment strategy. Some people want money right now, so they're willing to take the chance on the C and D area properties. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you can properly manage it, or you have a management company that understands how to operate in C and D areas. So again, I think it's a smart strategy, but this is just one of those things where you look at it on paper and you're like, who in their right mind would do it? But these people they do have an investment strategy, and a strategy, it works for them. So again, my name is Harold with North and Loyal. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. Also, if you like more of this content, just please subscribe. And if you think someone else can benefit from this video, please share the link. And as always, if you have any questions about what we offer in our services, please feel free to contact us at the link below. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.